Rise and shine, everybody. Good morning. It's Mark and Brenda here at
Bitcoin Say What?
Boom. We are here to educate, entertain, and talk about the evolution of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and the blockchain. Brenda, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good morning. Yes, I saw you 5 minutes ago. Are you doing good?
From 5 minutes ago? Yeah. Look at the bass I caught. Is that not awesome?
Yep.
That is a freaking awesome bass.
I pulled that from our vacation photos.
Yes. Did you really?
No.
I could say there ain't a chance in hell I caught that fish.
That would require you to catch one of those. Maybe
that would require me to be a good fisherman.
Maybe the one that Joe caught up in
yeah,
the one that you fed back to the muskies.
hey, let's not go there.
But that is one of Mark's favorite fish to catch is largemouth bass.
Yeah. I'm called the largemouth something that rhymes with bass. So
is that a largemouth?
That is a largemouth bass, yes. They get very, very big, especially down in Florida and Texas. They get tank size. This is I'm gonna guess that's probably about a 5-pounder. Nice largemouth bass. So, how you doing this morning? Everything good?
Everything's perfect. Yeah. You ready? Excited to share some of your news?
Yeah, I think I am. Let me get in.
So while you're doing that, go ahead and do that. I'll talk about our background.
Okay.
I try to show a piece of America that's beautiful, and this is St. Louis, Missouri, and I have taken our kids there for a debate competition when they were younger. It is a beautiful city. Love the arch there. Been in the arch. It's quite creepy going up. You're like in these little egg pods as you go up that skinny little part of the arch, and you kind of get worried, like, man, if this thing breaks down, we're really in trouble. So, and then you get up there, and then the whole part that you're walking is like it's on an arch. I mean, of course, because you're in it, but it's kind of scary. But all right, so here Mark is, and he is sharing.
I want to. Hey, before I get into my story here, did you go in the arch?
Yeah.
Did you? That I'm telling you, I saw when my brother was younger. I saw him. He had pictures. Was it really small? That elevator it's in? It looks very.
I just talked about it. Weren't you listening when you were doing that? I was saying that.
I wasn't listening because I'm a guy. I can't do two things.
And he says that I don't listen when he talks, and I never listen.
No, don't. So it just looked from as a kid. I'm thinking, oh, that looks.
I was saying, was you were finding this? You're like in this little egg pod, and there's 4 of you that can fit in this, and literally it's like an egg, and it's like a pod, and you sit in it, and it's really tiny, and then it's see-through, and so then as you're going up, you can see the whole elevator shaft bringing you up, and you can see pods coming down, and then you're like, oh my gosh, if this thing breaks down, we're really screwed.
No, you know what? I don't mind the height part. There's something structurally about it. It looks like, man, it's just like somebody could topple that thing over some wind.
And then I said, as you were pulling this up too, then once you get out, when you're at the top and you're looking out the observation thing, the floor is curved. And so you're walking, and then you're walking down, and you're like, holy crap, holy cow.
Yeah, you can go, that's, I'm going to do that one from the ground. That's those things that like, nah.
St. Louis is very beautiful. I did like the city. It's a very nice city, and I've got great memories there with our kids. So, all right, so let's head on into Bitcoin.
This is a very long article, so I'm just going to kind of read a little bit right off the top. Okay, the uncovering the hidden costs of the petrodollar. The world's reserve currency relies on oil dictators, inequality, and the military-industrial complex. But a Bitcoin standard could change this. Okay. In its growth from conceptual white paper to trillion-dollar asset, Bitcoin has attracted an enormous amount of criticism. Detractors focus on its perceived negative externalities, energy consumption, carbon footprint, lack of centralized control, inability to regulate, yada, 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 yada. Okay? So few critics stop to think comparatively about the negative externalities of the world's current financial system of dollar hegemony. This in part because many Bitcoin critics see it as a Visa-like payment platform. So it's much more than that. So as we go down in the article here, the article really talks about petrodollars and how oil really kind of has run all this. Okay, the world, I'm going to quick get in here. The world relies on the U.S. dollar and treasuries, giving America unparalleled outsized economic dominance. Nearly 90% of all international currency transactions are in dollars. 60% of foreign exchange reserves are held in dollars, and almost 40% of the world's debt is issued in dollars. Even though the U.S. only accounts for about 20% of the global GDP. This special status that the dollar enjoys was born in the 1970s through a military pact between America and Saudi Arabia. So the bottom line is, what do you think we're in the Middle East?
Yeah.
Protecting oil. Now we're drilling for oil here through shale and all different types of fracking and all that. That's why you have us in the Middle East. It's real simple. We're throwing money at it because that's kind of a a handshake deal that we probably get oil relatively inexpensive. We control a lot of it with our U.S. dollars. The world is pretty much ran by the U.S. dollar. So this is a very detailed article. I read through about half of it, and it's pretty intense and it's pretty deep. So I'm not going to get into it, but I just want people to understand that there's larger things at play in all of this, and this has been kind of the path we've been going down. You kind of wonder why we have all these, why we're in the Middle East and why we're having these wars. It's about oil and it's about dollars, and honestly, I guess I look at this, I'm like, I'm not real interested in sending any more of our blood and treasure for something that's in the ground. I'd rather figure out a way we can do it here. It seems like we have. That's just my 2-cent rant of the day here. But great article. There again, very deep, longer article. Please take the time, read it, investigate. This is why Bitcoin is going to be such a player, because there's not all this political wrangling going on. Bitcoin is just Bitcoin. It's complex, but it's also simple, and it doesn't require a lot of hand holding by people to manipulate and push it around. Okay, so that's my 2-cent rant here on this fine Thursday morning. So I'm going to get out of this article here.
You can almost say that.
Go ahead,
that could be my middle name then. Yeah, I'm like Bitcoin. I'm simple but complex.
Yes. Yes. Yes, you are. You are in a beautiful, complex way. There's that.
All right. So can I share now?
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm going to X out. Yes, you can. Hold on. I'm going to back out. I thought I was doing 2. So I'm.
Yeah, I'll do 1 and then.
Back out. Go.
All right, cool. I'm excited to share something here. All right, I think this is really big news. It says, I won't say the bad word. It says Germany opens up to institutional crypto funds. A new law means that around 4,000 existing institutional investment funds will now be eligible to invest in crypto assets. Here we go, another country. New legislation enables 4,000 special funds, Spiel funds, to invest in crypto assets. Becomes law in Germany on July the 1st this summer. They are favored by institutional investors, and interest in them is now exploding. In Germany, new legislation enables manager of the most popular institutional investment funds, the so-called Spiel funds, to allocate 20% of them to crypto assets set to come this July. It's been hailed as a big boost to Germany's position as a financial investment hub. And then it also says here, this will apply not only to these Spiel funds and to the new ones set up by institutional investors as a financial institution and insurance companies and pension funds. All right, so what I want to first say about this here is that we were talking about Turkey earlier this week. We were talking about what other countries are going to finally come forward. I just want to say now, I won the bet. Because what did you say? Peru would be the next country? And what did I say? Germany.
Okay. On to the next.
And I didn't even know this was coming up, but when I saw this, and I didn't say
on to the next story. No, you're right. Hey, the bottom line is we are going to a more crypto-centric world. And the question is, how quickly are we going to get there, and who's going to be in early adopter.
Right. So it's just a matter of realizing the other countries are doing this. Who knows what the United States is doing right now that we don't even realize what they're starting to work at behind the scenes. And then they'll pop back out and say this because, when they make these announcements, they've obviously worked out the kinks and know exactly what they're going to put into law or not. And so we have quite a few countries that are doing this, and Germany's the next one up. And I won the bet. You're up. Now it's your turn.
You're up. Get it?
Do I get a hot dog or a steak? I don't remember what the bet was. So.
You don't like steak. I'll get you I'll get you like a veggie platter.
Yeah. Okay.
That sounds awesome.
Go ahead and share.
All right. Here, I'll share screen here.
Maybe Mark can make another bet with me. Let's start keeping it down.
Yeah. Don't bet. Don't bet me on anything. I lose all the time.
If you want to win, make a bet with Mark.
All right. Here we go. We're gonna go to. Here we go. Sub 60K monthly close will make Bitcoin's 3.9 billion options expiry a non-event. So that is coming up at the end of this week here. Bitcoin option traders hoped for a $60,000 monthly close, but the balance between calls and puts signal the expiry will be a non-event. I'll go in this real quick. Bitcoin's 2021 performance has been impressive, but traders waiting for a record-breaking monthly candle are likely to be disappointed this week. After peaking at 64,000 April 14th, a jaw-breaking 27% correction followed, causing BTC price to drop to the $46,000 level. This downside move obliterated more than 9 billion long BTC futures contracts in a swift action that was previously unthinkable to most investors. Even though Bitcoin's price has recovered $5,800 over the past 48 hours, in options markets, the bulls were not able to take the bears by surprise as both sides virtually bounced for April 30th expiry. So this obviously has to do with futures markets and options and all that good stuff. I'm not as versed in that, but it is basically it's kind of like a teeter-totter. There's enough on one side, and then there's enough on the other side, so there's probably not going to be a lot of movement. So people are making money in this marketplace due to the futures and options market.
Well, it could be interesting then because today's the 29th, tomorrow's the 30th, so we'll see what the price is today. We'll note if there's going to be a drop tomorrow or not, and it could be due to the expiry thing that they mentioned in this article. So we'll see where that goes.
Read the article. It's not a very long article. That's something as we move forward, we're going to start to understand more. I'm not looking to trade futures or anything. I just like to understand the overarching theme of how this works. And for me to explain it, I'm not explaining it. I do understand it though. So hopefully at some point I can explain it better to you folks that are following us.
All right, so on to another country, Cardano. This is not Bitcoin news, but just as far as crypto blockchain adoption, Cardano ADA is helping Ethiopia with the world's largest blockchain deployment. On Tuesday, the 27th, blockchain research and developer firm, formerly known as IOHK, announced a partnership with the government of Ethiopia. Although the full details of this partnership are due to be announced on the 29th, which is today, said in a Twitter thread earlier that it could not wait until then to let the world know that it is partnering with Ethiopia's Ministry of Education to create a Cardano-powered national ID and attainment recording system. Okay, so go ahead, read the article. I don't know if that's good or bad, if it's in, a type of a system that it's going to start IDing everybody. Who knows? But I'm a little cynical on some things, but it's at least talking about, that blockchain is coming to countries. So I talked about Turkey. I talked about today, Germany. Here we go, Ethiopia. And again, this is not Bitcoin news. This is just more crypto news as far as Cardano. But things are happening, again, whether you like it or not. And it depends upon if you want to, be a part of this. So here's the next news I want to share is Nexon joins Tesla in Bitcoin bet with a 100 million purchase. Nexon company is said to bought 100 million worth of Bitcoin, joining a list of tech companies embracing the digital currency. The online game provider Nexon acquired 1,717 Bitcoin at an average price of 58,200. The purchase represents less than 2% of Nexon's total cash and cash equivalents on hand. All right, so huge.
Yeah, gaming.
Gaming is not going away. It's gaining.
No, gaming is, e-gaming or whatever you want to call it. Esports, correct? Esports.
Yep.
Okay, so esports. Man, when we grew up, as far as part of what we were used to seeing, as far as gaming consoles and stuff, I never anticipated seeing something like this where you have arenas full of kids. Well, maybe not with COVID, but arena full of kids watching and playing these games or doing it online. It's absolutely crazy. I think you're going to see esports bigger than probably most physical sports because of the digital aspect and the worlds that it's boundless. Right?
Sure. And it's not just kids, it is also adults. Our son is a Twitch streamer, and he is a senior in high school. And it's just one of those things that now, he's playing with 25-year-olds. So it's not just kids. And so this esports is huge. And so why is this relevant to crypto Bitcoin? Nexon invested a huge amount of money, even though it's only 2% of their base or whatever of their earnings. But other esport companies will not want to be left out and be like, wow, they did it. So they don't want to be the one that's not going to, make the headline news and make the profits. And so some of these companies, this will be the ones that will succeed and the ones that will crash if they don't invest. Yeah. So, great.
Isn't this a marketplace, Brenda, also for like NFTs? Isn't this kind of where a lot of these?
Yep.
And I haven't wrapped my head around NFTs. There's so much there, but for like in the games, like the hardware and the skins that they buy. I mean, this is stuff I I thought I'd never even talk about, but it's very interesting. This is a whole new world. And I mean, stop and think 10, 15, 20 years from today, how much different of a world it's going to be in that respect. So
do you want to sing the song real quick for us?
A whole new world.
Okay, every time you say that, now I'm going to make you do that. All right, so the next bit of news is that a lot of people say that with Bitcoin blockchain, that there's, if the internet goes down, then that's how Bitcoin's going to crash and it's not stable. Here we go. Get the new Blockstream base station and access the Bitcoin satellite network to get your blocks from the geosynchronous orbit. I'm not going to play the whole video, but here we go.
All right, let's see what we got.
So, okay, I didn't want to play the whole video because it's an hour, it's a minute and a half long. Go to the website that they reference in that Twitter article. So go back, rewind this, look it up. This is real. It looked kind of like hokey, and you're like, oh, that's not really happening. It is. I saw this like 6 months ago. I'm like, wow, they have all these satellites up just for the blocks.
Yeah,
the blockchain.
Isn't Elon Musk behind that though? Isn't that's his whole shtick?
Blockstream, I don't know about that, but he probably has his own.
Yeah. I know he's. I don't know necessarily if he's got his hand in Blockstream, but definitely this is part of I think SpaceX plan or one of their companies.
Probably part of it. And then here's the thing of the whole FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that they're trying to get people to be scared to invest in it. They're like, oh, internet goes down, you can't get your money, you can't transact. They've already solved this. This has probably been up for years now. And now we're just getting wind of it and getting access to it to start buying in your home to have so that you have a backup or, even get internet probably through Blockstream at some point. My guess is just, you just get it through the satellite. So, all right, Mark, you want to go share your, I don't know how many you have left, but.
I got 2 more left. Bubba Gum Shrimp Seafood restaurants will be starting to accept Bitcoin payments.
Nice.
All right. Hey, Bubba. Bubba Gump. That's one of my favorite movies. Okay.
We actually ate at a Bubba Gumps when we went to Hawaii.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Yes, we did.
Remember the cute little cup that Joe got and it lit up at the bottom, or maybe it was John.
Oh, that was John. Joey was way too mature.
Oh, that's right. That was way too.
Yeah. I'm way
too cool for that.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm gonna get it. All right. Hey, here we go. Many chain restaurants operated by parent company Landry's will begin to accept Bitcoin as a form of payment for meals. In an interview with CNBC yesterday, Landry's chair and CEO Tillman Fertitta said 80% to 90% of the company's restaurants and brands, including Bubblegum Shrimp Company, Morton's, the steakhouse, and Maestro's, would accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the next 90 days.
Wow. 90 days.
Said that the move was a step towards bringing crypto into the mainstream. Boom shakalaka. I love it. You know what I love about it? It's Morton's Steakhouse, because I like Morton's. Very nice. Okay, I'm not going to get it in a greater. Okay, real quick.
It's the only way you can afford a Morton steak.
All right. Just go down towards the bottom here. Some high-profile food chains and restaurants are now open to accepting Bitcoin. But the volatility of many cryptocurrencies may make it difficult to use as a reliable medium of exchange.
FUD.
Yeah, right. The first bar and restaurant to ever accept BTC as a form of payment, Room 77 in Germany. We got that Germany thing going on.
And that actually,
it said closed its doors in October for more than 10 years, seemingly due to restrictions from the pandemic. So they didn't so the article's like, okay, it didn't close because of Bitcoin. It closed due to the restrictions of the pandemic. Restriction.
But when you do a Google search and you're like, oh, German restaurant closes because it accepted Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's the headline. The headline, it's crap. After a while, you get
no bad words on the set. No bad words on the set.
Yeah. So this is one of the things that we keep talking about as far as, well, is cryptocurrency being it's happening. You can sit there and pretend like it's not. You can stick your head in the sand. You can do whatever you want. It is happening, and it's going to slowly happen. And it's not, think about it. Okay, so who's Morton's competitor? I mean, think about it. Every steakhouse out there. Okay, what's the Brazilian steakhouse? I can't remember the name. You think they're not going to accept it? If all of a sudden they see people going into Morton's, which is right around the corner from them, I know up in one of the towns that we live close to, there's 2 steakhouse, 3 actually.
So what has been the theme so far that we've just talked about? And we've only been having the show now for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
We have football players. Yeah. We have a sheriff's department. I don't think we covered that, but that was in the news. We have countries doing it. Now we have restaurants doing it.
Cities.
What's that?
Cities,
that's right. Yeah. And some states. And so this is just a few things that we're just talking, gaming institutions, not institutions, but gaming. We even have some pension funds that are going in it. I don't know in the United States, but definitely overseas. But I think the one in some of these cities, definitely, if they're doing it. So
you'll see it. You'll see it. You'll see pension. The thing is with pension funds, they have to. They can only allocate a certain percentage. A lot of these pensions and a lot of these kind of.
Oh, that's right.
Corporate structures and government structures can't buy, say, Bitcoin outright, so they have to. I think they're gonna. I was listening to a podcast 2 days ago, and the gentleman was speaking. He goes, they can buy an ETF, but they can't buy Bitcoin directly due to their corporate dictates. So. It's happening. It's just a matter of, how soon people are accepting of it. And once people start to accept it, it's
right.
Pocket. All right, I'm gonna.
Yep, I'm sharing something here.
All right, go ahead. We'll follow that up.
Central bank cash creation is ballooning prices of the asset that the rich own, stock, elite real estate, and the goods the poor must buy, food, fuel, and shelter. Government money printing is causing a massive wealth transfer to the rich from the rest. And so this whole thing is that prices of investments, again, here, like stocks, crypto, real estate is going up right now, huge, and it's going to go up even larger this summer. My guess, and Mark's guess, and everybody else's guess. I mean, they're talking about it right here. But the goods, if you notice, I've been talking all week and last week about inflation, shrinkflation of items, at the store. The stuff that the average Joe and Jane have to live off of is going up in price. And so most people cannot afford to be in more considered elite assets here. And so this extra money, so although the average person thinks, oh, I'm getting a stimulus check and I'm getting, a couple $1,000, or if you got a family, this is great. Now we've got some extra money. It's actually causing inflation. And so just realize that if you've got some extra money, that's why I'm trying to teach you guys to save a little bit here and there. You'll be able to partake in the investment of cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but it will help you be part of this thing that Mark and I keep talking about, this investment opportunity that is not going away. And so you can get in kind of, at the early stages. Let me just show one more thing, Mark, and then because it kind of goes to this here, if I can find it. It's a really good
one last article, so no problem.
You know what? Here we go. I think this is it. Buying Bitcoin today is like buying real estate in Manhattan in the 1800s. And so just look at that picture. Just imagine, some people are like, you're stupid. Don't buy a piece of real estate here. Look, is this America thing really going to work out? Is this New York thing really going to work out? Is Manhattan really going to be the hub? Blah, blah, blah. And so that's why what we're kind of talking about is that this isn't going away. That's why Mark and I are getting up in the morning to share this, is talking about countries, sports, cities, states, everything is slowly getting into this.
Yep.
This is like Manhattan in the 1800s. This is the land grab of this.
Yep.
That's why we're getting up. Not because Mark and I like to get up at 5 a.m.
We're getting up at 5 a.m. anyway, so.
Yeah, but it's a little different pressure now.
And the older we get, it's easier, to be quite honest with you.
So that's just, it's happening. So,
well, and kind of, I'm just going to pivot off the theme of the real estate. I'll tell a quick story. I had a client of mine that brother purchased all these crappy little lots in Chicago, these little 1 acre small, just all over the city. And everybody's like, you're wasting your money. You're wasting.
Like recently or a long time ago?
Oh, a long time ago.
Oh, okay. We didn't know that.
I apologize. So correct me if I screw something up here. And basically what he bought them for was parking lots. And you go through the city. Every time I go past those little South Parks that you go and they're, $10, 20, I shouldn't say 10, they're $20, for a couple hours. He owns a bunch of them. It's real estate that nobody wanted in a city that, in the 70s and 80s, that everybody just kind of looked past these little lots. And then that's my whole point in this is, it doesn't seem necessarily, oh, this is inviting or this is scary. It was a little at a time. And what those lots are worth today, I couldn't imagine what they're worth and what he paid for them. So,
well, it's just like saying, if you look at it from that concept, there's so much to invest in the blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto arena that you think the only way you can make money is by investing in it, like by actually owning the currency. I mean, one thing that I've been saying to you, Mark, is domains. Domains on the new blockchain, the .ios, the .crypto, the .zil, those are going to be like little pieces of real estate, because who doesn't want to own their name? Who doesn't want to own the word, love.io or marriage.io or marriage.crypto or whatever, it's just something that people, whatever their business is or whatever their name is. I mean, if you have a Smith, whoever,
Well, think about it. Think about every uh, avenue of this is going to create some sort of product or service that's is going to enable this to happen quicker. Think about the iPhone. Think about where that has come from, and look at now. I mean, we literally we don't even need a desktop computer anymore. I mean, that's crazy, and that's in our short lifetime here in the last 25 years, going from a desktop to a laptop to a phone. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. So this moving forward there are things that we haven't even dreamed of that are going to be coming in the next 5 years. So I'm going to go back to the story about the little piece of land.
Yeah.
I'm going to equate this real quick. I'm going to equate this to Bitcoin. Everybody's like, wow, if Bitcoin's $54,000. Yeah. Think of Bitcoin right now as a piece of land, because I'm going to say this time and time again. Bitcoin is cheap. I know it seems like that's a crazy statement, but Bitcoin is cheap. It's that corner lot that maybe nobody wanted. You may not understand my thought process here, but it is inexpensive. Just get a fraction, inch by inch. It's a cinch. All right, I'm going to go to my final article here, babe. All right, here we go. Let's see here.
Are you talking to me? Who are you talking to?
Dave, you.
Didn't you say that the other day to me?
What? Oh, don't, come on, man. I'm telling you,
honestly, this is our marriage. We're actually being polite to each other right now.
Help me out. This is my favorite. This is
been married 34 years, and this is we poke each other with a stick. We're like two bears.
Yeah. All right.
To say it politely.
Yeah, that's all right. Here we go. All right, here we go. This is the one I'm dying to. Residents of Caribbean. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? How would you say that, Brenda?
Tomato.
Well, Caribbean island can conduct local transactions using Bitcoin. All right, here we go. The adoption of cryptocurrencies is far from being a gimmick, says one of the entrepreneurs behind a project developing property on the island. Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yep.
Okay. More than 5,000 residents of an island that forms a part of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines can use crypto as a means of payment.
Nice.
That sounds so nice. According to a report from Euronews, both residents and visitors to the island of Bequia can use Bitcoin to pay for goods and services ranging from property to food at one of the local eateries. The One Bequia project, backed by entrepreneur Storm Gonsalves, that's a cool name, is building luxury villas on the island for sale in BTC. Gonsalves said the move to accept crypto was aimed at solving the issue of traditional financial systems abandoning Caribbean islands.
So I would say to that, and then you can finish what you want to say. So I'm assuming that since this is in Euronews, and this is an island in the Caribbean, this is probably a European island that is governed by a country in Europe. I don't know who governs that. And so this is showing another country outside of the US that is allowing this to happen. I mean, because you have to follow the laws of your country. So
yeah,
here's another country, it's an island, but it's another country that's governed by one of the, the countries in Europe.
Yes. And that's the beautiful thing about Bitcoin. It's going to provide greater mobility. And I'm going to read this statement, and then maybe I'll pivot off of it. Residents of the small island nations are finding it increasingly difficult to send and receive money internationally because of de-risking by large international banks. De-risking is when these large institutions remove their intermediary banking services from smaller island-based community banks. This prevents the island-based banks from transacting internationally. Wow, this is okay. So, Brenda, we were just talking about, the little plots of land. This is opportunity here. Think about this. I mean, how beautiful is that?
There's so much opportunity. It kills me that we don't have more money. It kills me that we're the average Joe and Jane, because we can smell the opportunity.
But
and so
somebody will. somebody will. And the beauty of this is then you have that you're going to surround yourself in an environment of people that want to be more sovereign, that they want to be more mobile. This is a world that's really, it's going to be a little bit more boundless than boundaries. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, and the thing is that, again, just to the point of what I said, is that just because you think like Mark and I don't have a ton of money to invest and take advantage of all these opportunities, there's other things that are just going to be so relevant, even though they're smaller. So we're not going to be able to buy a part of an island and to create this massive thing and all that. Everybody kind of has their place in the world right now, but because we are early, you are early, you could be buying domains up. And I mean, there's a domain I wanted to use for our website or our company, and it was selling for $24,000 right now because someone bought it a while ago, and it's such a sought after. They probably keep track of how many times people search that up. So now it's 24,000. There's other websites, names that are already taken that are $2,500 or just $200 or something. And you can buy these as cheap as $11 or $50 right now on the blockchain. And you can buy a bunch of them if you want, and then just hold on to them. And then at some point you can put it up for sale, and then you can make some money that way. So there's many opportunities. You don't have to be putting up a big, condo development, although that would be nice, but you don't have to.
And it starts with just an idea. It's all this is. And honestly, okay, so just in reading this story real quick, okay, think of Bitcoin. It's infinitely indivisible. Okay, right? Infinitely divisible, not indivisible. Okay, so what's the difference between that and say this property? Could they not sell fractions of this property and you would be part of it?
People are starting to talk about that now, as if that's going to be the next thing, that they're going to start dividing real estate investment. So now you own a portion of a development somewhere.
Yeah, so maybe you're not. So maybe you find that, okay, well, this is a property down there that, say you're in your 20s or 30s, and all of a sudden, you're accumulating a little bit more, or going to another island, whatever that is, being able to participate in leveling up your financial position, whether it is through Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just the opportunity to kind of opens. I think Bitcoin is really more of it's really kind of opens your mind a lot. I mean, granted, it's a physical investment, but it really starts to get people to think a little bit more about what the possibilities can be.
Yep. And I think it's the one that paves the way. It's the one that's leading the market and this whole arena forward. And I think that if we don't support it, Mark and I personally, not financial advice, but if we don't support it, then everything else goes down. If Bitcoin goes down in price, everything crashes too. Bitcoin goes up, everything else does. I call it the granddaddy. And that's why Mark and I are fanboys of Bitcoin. And we love it for that concept, because it's the thing paving the way. And if you hear what the news is about, now granted, in the years to come, other altcoins are, that wasn't me. That was actually this, just so you know. We call altcoins, people call it a bad word, a blank coin. And so they'll be around too. They'll come around, but we need to support Bitcoin and in order for this whole thing to keep moving forward, and for investments and everything. So anything else? What's that?
As the old saying goes, if you're not the lead sled dog, every view is the same, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be the leader. So that's the leader. Okay. Anything else from your end?
Just something silly. You know me, I like to share silly things.
Okay.
So this is probably the last thing, because I'm kind of a child at heart. So here we go. This is talking about, so someone who hodls, HODL, if you're a newbie to the channel, is someone who holds on to their Bitcoin no matter what. You don't sell it, even when it's crashing. You're holding on to it because you believe it's such a rare asset, because there's only 21 million that's going to be mined. It's such a rare asset that no matter what happens, you hold on to it. So this is what the concept is. Oh, this isn't it. This is about, okay, I'm sorry. This is a different one.
You want to get out of this one, Brenda?
Nope.
Okay, leave it as is.
This is showing that you realize what you're investing in, and everybody around you doesn't realize what's going on. And you know what you have. And we remember this movie is a great movie, and so this is about just being amongst a crowd of people, and nobody understands what's happening in the world and what Bitcoin's doing, what the blockchain's doing. It's so cool. Your part is coming. Hold, patience, get more.
Hodl, 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 baby.
Yep. All right. So I think we're done for the day. Anything else, dear?
No. Hey, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Bitcoin say what?
Boom. Thanks.
Boom.
We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Hold on, Brenda, real quick before we go. We're going tomorrow night, right? Friday night?
Yeah, Friday night, wine and whiskey night.
Night, baby.
Yeah, hang on a second. We're going to be covering the bullish case for Bitcoin. So it's a little heady of a concept. So if you want to bring your favorite beverage, and we're going to talk about it for a good hour tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central.
Friday nights are all right for fighting, I think Elton John once said.
All right.
Have a great day, guys.
Bye.